In the workshop, a modified Southworth engine's 12-inch boiler feed pump built by Don English, Part 4. And I'm pleased to announce that since the last episode, the lubricator is now working perfectly and lubricating the cylinder. I can see this because periodically some oil comes out of the exhaust port. And that's the subject of this video. I need to make an exhaust collector to fit over the casting on the port. As you can see, the hole in the centre of the exhaust port on the casting is not exactly in the centre, but this is relatively unimportant, as you will find out shortly. The main thing is that the hole in the exhaust port casting is exactly in the right place to make the engine work. In the chuck of my Boxford lathe is a small piece of brass. It's just a random piece that I found in my scrap box. The good news is the diameter of this is exactly right for the exhaust port flange. And as you can see, I'm turning down one end of it. I'm going to turn this down to 3/8 of an inch in diameter for two reasons. One is it will look right when I fit a 1/4 of an inch diameter pipe in the centre of this, but the other reason really is if ever I want to thread it to fit a union nut, I can thread it 3/8 by 32 threads per inch, then I could fit a standard union nut for 1/4 inch pipe. But to be honest, I think it will be perfectly fine once I've drilled this hole down the centre and tapped it 1/4 by 40. I'm truing up the hole with quite a large centre drill, followed by a twist drill going through, which is 7/32 of an inch. And as 7/32 of an inch is tapping size for 1/4 by 40, in this clip I'm going through with a 1/4 by 40 tap. And for a change I'm doing this under power. I've engaged back gear so the chuck is revolving at a slow speed. I now have the lathe in reverse to remove the tap. Whenever I remove taps like this by putting the lathe in reverse, I have my hand on the tailstock just to take the pressure off the tap so it doesn't cut again on its way out. The next part of the job is to turn the piece round in the chuck and machine away most of the other side. I know this is a bit wasteful, but it's the quickest way of doing it. I'm using a live centre to stabilise the part while I cut it, as it's only held by the 3/8 part at the other side. After turning away the bulk of the material, I remove the live centre and very carefully turn away the remaining part. Very shallow cuts are the order of the day, because it would not be good if this part jumped out of the chuck at this late stage. Here's a quick tip. If you're turning a component like this which is not held very securely at the other end, for the final cuts it's a good idea to use the cutting tool, almost like a parting tool, and cut away the very last part very slowly, as near to the main part of the work as possible. The last job on this side of the flange is to take a very fine cut across the face of it. This will make sure that it's perfectly flat and has a good finish so it will fit onto the exhaust port on the engine itself. I'll just speed up the final part. And now, using a 1/2 inch drill, and you may wonder why I'm doing this, I'm counterboring the reverse side of this flange. Remember, the hole in the casting is not exactly in the middle, so by counterboring the inner part of the flange like this, it's no longer a problem. For the next part of the job, I need to cut this flange to the correct shape. And a simple way of doing this is to use some oil. Just smear some oil on the casting, press on a piece of paper, and the shape of the casting is immediately transferred to the paper. This first one was a bit oily, so I took a second impression, which still transferred the shape, but it was a little more accurate because there wasn't too much wicking of the oil into the paper. As you can see, it's a fainter mark, but it's quite visible. All I have to do now is cut round it with a pair of scissors. And now I have a template to work from. And all I have to do is hold it over the flange that I've made and draw around it with a felt tip pen. Nothing could be simpler, well, apart from a girlfriend I had many years ago. The next part of the job is to cut out the shape on the bandsaw. Time for a health and safety warning. If you're doing jobs like this, be very careful indeed. If in doubt, hold the component in a pair of pliers and wear some eye protection. In every one of my videos I show how I do the job. I'm not saying that you should do it this way, I'm just showing the way I do it. One of the main things though is to keep concentration at all times. If you don't concentrate and let your mind wander, then there's a very good chance that one of your fingers may also wander off. Here's the roughly cut out part, which I then cleaned up on the 1-inch belt sander. And now it looks like this, which is pretty good really. I'm quite happy with it. Now I need to drill 2 holes in the exhaust flange to mount it to the engine, and for this I'm using my rotary table. Note the steel washer fitted under the flange so that when the drill breaks through the flange it doesn't mark the chuck jaws. As always, I'm using a centre drill to spot the position for the first hole. Then I change the video speed just to make it quicker and rotate the part through 180 degrees. I know it's 180 degrees because I'm following the graduations on the base of the rotary table. And as everything's looking okay, I went through with the centre drill first, followed by a twist drill. Then I rotated the component again and did the same at the other side. And now I have an almost complete exhaust flange. You can see now why I used the rotary table, because these holes are dimensionally accurate. And I'm now going to use the exhaust flange to mark the position of the holes on the casting for drilling. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful.